All hell is breaking loose.
That's a nice way to put it. Yeah.
All hell is breaking loose. We're in the midst of a trade war. How are we saying that in 2025? We're in the midst of a trade war. The US market, I should be much more specific. The US market is having a wobble doesn't do it justice. We fell back. We crossed the 10% threshold, I think, yesterday.
We'll call it a correction, right?
We're officially in correction territory. Yep. It's having a complete meltdown. People are losing their mind. Yes. You go on Reddit, you go on LinkedIn, less on LinkedIn, but certainly on Reddit and other forums, people are freaking out.
Retail, right? If we can call it that. It's sort of, the people we're talking to day in, day out, there's some nerves. There is a lot of churn, obviously, right now, and a 10% correction in 20 days is a pretty steep fall off. It is normal, though. We want to say the having a correction every year, intra-year. I think if you look back to 1980, it's 14.2%. Go back further to 1950, it's right around 14%.
What the average intra-year
max drawdown. So from the high for that year down to the trough, 14% roughly. We're not quite there yet. Not to say that it's going to run more. We'll see what happens after today's inflation report, which I know we want to touch on. But it spooks people. It gets the nerves going.
This is a spooky time.
Yes.
This is a policy own goal. Mm-hmm. It's political as well.
Very political.
It's who's your guy or gal? Who won? And if you're a Trump guy, you spent the last 4 years in the wilderness freaking out that Biden was going to blow up the economy and you might have missed out. And now you're Kamala, guy or gal, and what's going on is freaking you out. There's a very good chance you're going to sit out whatever happens now. Yep. It's a narrative we tell ourselves. Mm-hmm. By and large, the impression I'm getting is if you're a MAGA, you're okay with what's going on because you believe in the bigger picture. And if you're not MAGA, you're worried that we're about to kick off World War III.
Right.
It's perspectives.
It's perspectives, and I think leaving aside the political aspect.
But you can't in this.
Yes.
I don't want to get political.
No,
but
right.
In this particular wobble, it's not even a wobble. I need a better word. In this correction we're having, which could get worse, this is inherently political.
Yeah, you're right. And I think that's why we're seeing the extent of the emotional response that I think we have done, right? Which is, it's hard to divorce these things, obviously, like you say, from the politics to what's actually happening. And that makes people even more terrified or nervous, right? Or should I be getting out? What should I be doing? What should I be thinking about? Which we're going to get to in a minute here. But
have you heard people that there's increased trading within 401ks?
Oh wow, I hadn't heard.
People are going into 401ks and trading on the back of this, which that's the stickiest of sticky money.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We'll talk about some stats and what we can do. We've talked about before on this very podcast how many times the best days follow the worst days. I know you have some great figures for us. What I will say and what these statistics, if you can think of a key takeaway here, it's that selling when it feels right or getting out, right? Getting scared and thinking this time is different and I need to get out of my investments. I'm going to go into my 401k. I'm going to log into T. Rowe Price, whatever it may be, and enact some trades. That is going to feel right in the moment. And very often that's the most dangerous time to give in to those instincts, to make those moves. I know you'll have some from Guide to Retirement from JP Morgan, which is really telling. I pulled one from Callie Cox over at Compound and Friends, who we're big fans of. In the last 20 years, if you sold out on a 2% down day, so we just had one on Monday, right? It was 2.7% down or something like that. And then you waited 2 weeks. So not, 10 business days, 10 trading days, you would lose out on a third of your total gains. So we're not talking about stepping aside.
Wait. So you have a 2% down day, which doesn't 2% when you and I are talking doesn't sound a lot,
right?
But a 2% down day is shocking, pretty much.
Emotional,
yeah. You sell thinking the world's going to hell in a handbasket. Yep. I'm gonna sell here and I'm gonna wait till things calm down.
Yep,
that's what everyone for
some mysterious point in the future.
It's always I'm gonna wait for the dust to settle.
Yes,
I'm gonna wait for the dust to settle.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks after you sold, you go back in.
Yep. A third of your total gains are wiped out.
1/3.
For 2 weeks out of the market.
Wow. Well, listen, this actually fits with this. This is something I've been aware of. I've posted about this before. It never ceases to blow my mind. Even though I know it, it never ceases to blow my mind. Impact of being out of the market. This is from JP Morgan, Guide to Retirement. This is S&P 500 over 20 years. From the end of the start of 2025 to the end of 2024. If you just bought the S&P and stayed in the S&P in the index, you can't buy the index, but you know them, a 10.4% return per annum. Per annum. That's a lot. Bear in mind that includes the global financial crisis, 2018, 2022. 10.4%.
That's an
a lot.
investment doubling in 7 years.
Yeah.
For
That's a
anyone
lot.
doing the math.
You miss the 10 best days. In 2 years, the 10 best days. I don't know, maybe what is it, 2,000 trading days in 20 years?
That makes sense.
Maybe.
Yep.
I don't know.
Somewhere there.
You missed 10. I had to read the small print to see if it wasn't 10 a year.
Right.
It's not. It's 10. If you miss the 10 best days out of 20 years, that 10.4% drops to 6.1% per annum. From 10.4% per annum to 6.1, missing 10 days. I can't get over that. But there's more, just a bit more context. 7 of those 10 best days occurred within 2 weeks of the 10 worst days. So that fits with Callie Cox.
Yep, exactly right.
And furthermore, 6 of those 7 days occurred the day after the worst day.
Wow.
Now, right, so here's the thing. You said before, we're in a 10% correction. It's happened in 20 days. I believe that's, if it's not the fastest that's ever happened, it's close.
I want to say 5th fastest.
Oh, right, okay.
Don't quote me on that. I think it's 5th fastest, which is still, we have corrections. If we have corrections roughly every year like this, that's up there, right?
That's
a quick.
Yeah.
That's a very quick. Yeah.
So things happen quicker now. Mm-hmm. The 2022 was quick, and 2020. I know there's a lot of other stuff going on in 2020. This happened faster than 2007, 2008, which happened. I know there's different circumstances, but just you think about the way we're bombarded at the moment, from your phone to the social media to your TV. It is constant.
A deluge.
And things, I think, as a result, I think things happen. I think everyone's more connected, more aware of this, and things happen much, much faster.
Yep.
So we've fallen in 20 days. You can't preempt that.
No.
You just can't preempt that. No. But it's going to bounce back just as quickly. And all the evidence suggests that's the case as well. Mm-hmm. And if you sell out after a drop, because you can't preempt these things, other than never being invested, you can't consistently preempt these things. Mm-hmm. So you sell out after a drop, you wait for the dust to settle, you've missed the best days.
Yeah.
You've destroyed your investments. Mm-hmm. This is investing. Mm-hmm. It is painful, it is hard, it is counterintuitive, at times it's downright scary. Mm-hmm. When it's your own money, it's so much worse.
Terrifying. Yeah, it can be.
But this is investing.
Comes with the dinner. I saw that today. I saw that in a comment online. It says the corrections come with the dinner of investing, which I thought was a funny way to put it. We don't want to belabor the point, but this is something we always touch on because, like you say, this is what makes investing so lucrative in the long term, right? And the power of compounding earnings and interest on your investments. People tend to forget that if you're trying to time the market, or if you make the fatal mistake of selling out after a correction like this and getting scared away from your investments, you also have to time the way back in, right? There's 2 elements of this. So no one is going to be ringing the klaxon bell at the bottom and saying, okay, everyone, let's get back in. Let's jump in the pool now. It's good to go. It's going to be up and up from here. No one does that. You have to be in a place where you not only are timing the way down, which we can argue about, the possibility of doing that and doing it consistently. You also then have to decide to get. You and I aren't going to
argue on it. We're not going to argue. We're agreed. You can't do it.
Absolutely not. No. But there are still people that insist they can, and if they have the confidence to try to think that they're going to get in at the bottom, or like you say, when the dust settles, that's when I'll get back in. You might have missed the bounce back.
You've missed the bounce back. There's no might about it. The stats we just talked about, you've missed it. That's how you destroy wealth. That's not how you build wealth.